We welcome you live to NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies, week number 30. Tonight it is the 2025 Indianapolis 500, and we are all up and here and running here. We're all up and running here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Welcome you live to Lobbies week number 30. So we've had a bit of an interesting situation. So of course Lobbies are returning. They were supposed to return yesterday, but they kind of did. We had the ARCA Las Vegas race. This was originally scheduled to be a two-race night with ARCA Las Vegas, and then, of course, tonight the INDYCAR series. But ARCA at Las Vegas ended up happening yesterday. The INDYCAR race was postponed until today. Of course, ARCA was not actually broadcasted. First ever NASCAR iRacing FedEx League race not to be broadcasted. But we'll, of course, have the INDYCAR series tonight, so I guess it's the longest night of Lobbies ever already. And I don't think we're ever going to beat it. It's a very unprecedented situation, but we're ready to kickstart week. Oh, actually, not even. We're ready to keep going for week number 30, I guess, technically. Even though you guys didn't even see what happened yesterday at Las Vegas with the ARCA cars. And we welcome you, of course, in live for tonight, the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies. Of course, it's an off week for both Cup and Xfinity. They'll be back next week from Atlanta Motor Speedway. And of course, this was originally scheduled to be a whole league off week, I should say. But of course, last minute decided to put in these INDYCAR Lobbies tonight, and it is of course probably the biggest, one of the biggest Lobbies events we will have. Last season, of course, we had a special event for the INDYCAR series. This season, or this year, I should say, we have a Lobbies event for INDYCAR. Alright, so we'll have cars on track in just a few moments here. So, of course, warm-up session as always for oval races in Lobbies is 20 minutes. And then, of course, you're going to have the 2-lap qualifying session. Then the race is 70 laps. Of course, last year it was the full Indy 500. That took well over, I think, about 3 hours. But, of course, not the case here tonight. This is, of course, the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies Indianapolis 500. But it should still be a fun one, as we, of course, are welcoming you in live. We'll be on the track in just about 2 minutes' time. Stay tuned for NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies week number 30, the continuation, and then technically the main event, the INDYCARs, the Indianapolis 500 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All right, cars are going to be pulling on to the racetrack here tonight from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is, of course, NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies week number 30 for the main event. INDYCARs, the Indianapolis 500, is going to be underway for the warm-up session as cars will pull on to the racetrack here. So, of course, non-points event. Technically, not a special event either. Just kind of an event for fun. As cars roll off of pit road here at Indianapolis. So of course, 70 lapper here tonight. They should make green flag pit stops, I'm assuming. I think the fuel window is about 35 laps or something like that. As they weave their way down to the back stretch up the pace. There's that 17. That is Cole Wilson heading into 3 and 4. And Wilson will make his way down the front straightaway here at the most famous racetrack on earth, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As they head down the front stretch into 1 and 2. So, of course, the Cup Series went to Fontana last week. That was Cup and Xfinity, I should say, with the Fontana last week. That was such a show for the Cup Series. 4 wide finish between Connor Aswell, Matthew White, the 99 of Payson Lindsay, another one, and then, of course, it all ended with that number 72 of Connor Aswell getting to the inside and, of course, taking the win away. Bryce Benton was very dejected after that one, after leading the most laps. As cars head down the front stretch here at Indy. Here's that number 3. Into 1 and 2 goes Hogan. In his first ever NASCAR iRacing FedEx League start. Here's Cole Wilson in the 17 of corner exit he goes. Down the back straightaway goes that 3 machine. You got a car on pit road. That is the 96. That is Andrew Stacy. Another one, there's that 6, Viola, making his way through 3 and 4. And down the back straightaway once again. Into 3 and 4 goes that number 4 machine. And down the front stretch he goes. All right, so he's got, looks like that number 6 of Viello on his bumper. So about 13 minutes still left to go in the warm-up session here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This one is Joseph Lewis, I believe, making his way through turns 3 and 4. That number 3 up the racetrack he goes. Got a car looking like he's coming down pit road. That is Cole Wilson, the 17. Oh, and Wilson's going to hit the wall on pit road. And he will spin down to the inside. As Viella currently in second, Joseph Lewis currently in third. All right, guys, so 12 minutes here to go in the session. So cars on track here in Indianapolis. It's a high-speed racetrack, over 230 miles an hour. What is the feeling on the racetrack just early here in practice?
Right now the track temperature seems a little high, so it's a little bit tighter out on the track, so we might have some cars signed up into the wall tonight. Getting aero tight.
Yes, that's gonna have to be something you watch out for tonight. These cars are going so fast, they're on edge, and drivers are gonna be all over here. There's gonna be, of course, you're going to be able to get a huge run down these straightaways. 70 lapper tonight, so it's definitely a lot shorter than what we did last year, which is the full 200 lap, 500 mile race for special events. This, of course, is just technically Lobbies, but one of the more important Lobbies events that we have. And down the back straightaway goes that number, I believe, 4. That is CJ Urban. That is in his Reese's machine. He runs a couple of Reese's machines up in the Cup and Xfinity series and bringing that down to INDYCAR. Of course, there is now technically a INDYCAR iRacing FedEx series. Of course, that ran at the Daytona Road. Of course, this is not part of it. This is just a Lobbies event technically, but one of the more important Lobbies events that we've had up to date. And the only Lobbies night, of course, now week number 30 we're in. That, of course, has a race on Wednesday and then the main event on Thursday. So definitely something a little bit strange that's going on this weekend, but making it work. That is into 3 and 4 goes that number 60 machine. Ahead of him is there's the 53 of Matt Grab. He crashed early in the 2024 edition of the special events Indy 500. So, of course, the decision was made a couple of weeks ago not to run that this season, but for a little bit of compensation, we do, of course, have this here for you guys tonight. Lobbies Indianapolis 500. And pulling back onto the racetrack is Matt Grab. Oh, hard in the wall, big wreck. I believe the damage model was slightly updated as well. It looks a little bit different than last season. There's Andrew Stacy in the 96. Oh, we got a car upside down. That is CJ Erdman. On his roof he goes. And hopefully he'll reset. 7 drivers over the line so far. Still, it is Cole Wilson, top of the board here at Indianapolis. There's Matt Grab once again heading through 3 and 4. Another thing we're going to be watching out for tonight is, of course, we will have a 3-wide start. So it's just going to be 1 to go once we get back onto the track. Of course, at all NASCAR, iRacing, FedEx League events besides lobbies and special events, they do have a lap to check pit road speed, but that's not a thing in lobbies. Through 3 and 4 goes Matt Grab, and once again heading down that back straightaway here from Indianapolis. Of course, Indy 500 qualifying coming up next. 9 minutes to go here, still in the warm-up session. Oh, big wreck! Erdman just got taken, and he's running into the catch fence. Huge wreck here for CJ Erdman. On his roof he goes. That is a big one for the driver of the 96. As he takes an absolutely massive shot there. Wow. All right. There, nearly in the wall, is that number 53 of Matt Grab. The driver of the 96. Through 3 and 4 he goes. Of course, Matt Grab, he's had a rough NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series season so far. Currently, the driver of the number 53 for Team Chevy Motor Club sits, I believe, out of the playoff cut line. Well, actually, he's just in it now. He's currently +0 to the cut line. Same issue there for Cole Clausen, Payson Lindsay. He's below the cut line, of course. He's one of the drivers in this event tonight. Of course, like we mentioned earlier, both the Cup and Xfinity Series heads to Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. So it's definitely been a while since we last had lobbies on track. Of course, last night doesn't really technically count because it's still the same week number 30. Now we're into the 30s. Last time we did that was ARCA at Talladega for the main event. That was all the way before this season number 4 for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League actually started. So Erdman heads down that front stretch. There's Matt Grab in the 53. And some others there down the front stretch is, I believe, the 28. That is Joseph Lewis. Oh, car in the wall over here. I believe that is Payson Lindsay. It's a big shot as we got 3 drivers coming on to the racetrack. Stay tuned. We'll be right back from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in just a few moments. We're just finishing something up. Let's come back live. 6 minutes to go here in the warm-up session. As they head through 3 and 4 yet again. All right, so you're seeing a bit of a cars crashing, about 3 of them down on the inside. So you're seeing a bit of a maybe you have 4 cars here involved. You got 17 Wilson, then you got on his nearly on his bumper that number 6. So a bit of drafting practice going on here as they head down the backstretch. To the inside goes
Yeah.
that number. To the inside goes that number, I believe, 26, if I'm not mistaken. Whoever he is. Pink Machine goes down to the inside. Here is Cole Wilson making a move on that number 3 of Hogan.
Yeah, with
Side-
these Indy cars, like stock cars, they have very strong draft. But a stock car, it's not going to get very aero tight. In the Indy car, if you pull down in front of somebody and take the air off them, you'll get super tight and glide straight up into the wall. So with these high speeds and low downforces, you have to watch out for the big aero push.
Yeah, and then of course, make any contact in these things, you're done. This thing's gonna go sideways, and your race is probably just about over. You get one reset here tonight, like you always do in lobbies. Could it be
29
useful?
cars on the qualifying setup. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're going to be holding it wide open at over 230 miles an hour in qualifying. Roughing his way down to the inside is Viola. Oh my God, a big wreck. Oh, that is bad here in 3 and 4. And it is, of course, a relatively shorter race as well. Of course, last year we had the special events race 200 laps. This year, just the lobbies race 70 laps. Not even half distance, but it should be an action-packed one. I don't know what they get. I think it's about 30 laps of fuel, so there's going to probably be a bit of fuel saving to try to hit. Oh my God, Pace and Lindsay's gone. Yeah, anyways, that's how it should go tonight. Cars back on the racetrack, about 4 minutes to go here. We'll be right back in about a minute and a half. Of course, still cars on the racetrack here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So currently, we'll give you a little bit of a radio broadcast here as we're currently doing something. Got 3.5 minutes to go here. Currently, of course, Cole Wilson's still top of the board. All right. Just one quick second. I had to fix something with the ticker, but we should be all good in a minute. So about 2.5 minutes to go here. Still, of course, cars on track for the warm-up session. Promise we'll be back in a few moments. All right.
Pace and Lindsay is tumbling down the pit entry.
What else is there? All right. 5 here. As cars on the racetrack, about a minute to go. As they head down the backstretch.
It's Lizzie, it just launched. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and there is Lindsay upside down in the back straightaway here. So about 45 seconds to go here in the warm-up session from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Of course, coming up next is qualifying. Here from Indy. Cars rolling back on the track here. So it's going to be wide open, pedal down, qualifying laps, 2 laps, the shot to win the pole from Indianapolis.
I joined just in time.
Hard goes now to the top of the board. Still now Wilson in second. Of course, they weren't really able to put many actual good laps down. All the chaos going on the track. And oh, big hit for that number 60 machine, but we will wind it down. Checkered flag in the air in qualifying, or practice I should say. It's time to qualify for the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, Cole Hart looks like he was the only one to actually set a lap time on the qualifying setup. And as you see, it was a full second faster than my lap, which wasn't draft and on the race setup. So it shows how trimmed out the qualifying setup is and how fast we're going to be going, up to almost 240 miles per hour.
Hold your breath. 2 laps of qualifying. Here we go. Indianapolis 500 quality is underway. It's for the pole position. Cars slowly roll. We got a car spinning. That's that number 3. He goes around. Car up to speed on the back straightaway. Then I got that number 5 machine through 3 and 4. There is the number 6. That is Viola. Heading his way down the front straightaway. It's Indianapolis 500 qualifying cars on the racetrack. To the yard of bricks goes that number 6. Wide open through 1 and 2. No lift whatsoever if he can actually hold it. Off turn number 2 he goes and down the back straightaway for Viola in the 6. Behind him, the car up to speed. There is the number 34, I believe, heading down the backstretch. Through 3 and 4 he goes. See how many drivers are going to be electing to wait for optimal track conditions. Off turn number 4, close to the wall, goes Viola down the front stretch. He puts his time. Schrader is currently in second. Holes now is third in that number 12 machine. On the brakes is Payson Lindsay. I believe he might be, yes, he's resetting. Mac grab to the top of the board. So, of course, you got 2 laps to do it. Going to be interesting to see what lap number 2 will bring for these drivers. Will it be an improvement? Here comes Viola. Final time down the front straightaway. Let's see the benchmark to see if lap number 2 will be an improvement for these drivers. Viola in the 6, I believe, will not improve. For him, at least. Hart is currently in second. Down the front straightaway goes that number 28 of Joseph Lewis. Lewis currently 5th. Improves his time, stays 5th. Through 3 and 4 goes. Is now someone just moved up. I believe it was C.J. Erdman up to 6th. Nearly in the wall is that 16 as he muscles his way down into 1 and 2. Still 2 minutes remain. I believe he hit the wall slightly. You got a car wrecked in the back straightaway. That is the 7. I'm not really sure who that is. I believe that's Logan Giesbrett. Still, it's Mac Grab, top of the board with 1 minute and 45 to go. Down the front stretch goes that 18 machine. Beck to the line. What is his lap time going to look like? It's actually not Beck, sorry. That was Nicholson. Oh, car upside down. That is Lindsay once more. Here comes Cole Wilson. One of the fastest in practice. He's on the racetrack now. Nearly the wall on entry. We've seen some drivers improve slightly on lap number 2. Some not improve whatsoever. Let's see what Cole Wilson can do. Down the front straightaway to start his... actually backs it down, so he's only going to have 1 lap. Wilson is 8th, so kind of down in what I thought he was going to be. Top 8, 9 separated all by less than 0.2 of a second. Matt Grab's still on provisional pole. The 18 making his way through 3 and 4. 30 seconds to go here in qualifying. Oh, car on the wall once again. Lindsay, he'll be done. No one, I don't believe, on a fast lap, so that should just about do it. Matt Grab going to be starting on pole position here tonight. He gets pole in Indianapolis. All right, give us a quick second. Qualifying will come to a conclusion. As we welcome you live. Sorry about that. We welcome you live to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies week number 30 Indianapolis 500. Cars currently on the grid. Of course, we will have that 3 wide start. 70 laps tonight. So far, guys, of course, we just rolled on to the grid. What is the fuel situation looking like right now?
We're going to have around 30 laps of fuel tonight, so we'll definitely have to make at least 2 pit stops.
All right. So, going to be interesting to see, so if they run green or not, or if we'll have to have some green flag pit stops.
The INDYCAR has a engine map, so the higher up you go, the more fuel you'll save, but the slower you'll go. So it'll be interesting to see how some drivers like myself will be managing the engine map to try and save a stop.
Yeah, so of course, car's going to be rolling off in just a few moments. We finally got the ticker fixed. There we go. All right, welcome live to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here tonight. This is NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies. From Indianapolis, it's technically the main event. Of course, Lobbies started last night at ARCA at Las Vegas. Of course, it was not streamed, broadcast in any sort of way, but you got a 70 lapper for you tonight. The Indianapolis 500, the main event for week number 30. Pace car rolling off pit road. Of course, we will have that 5 wide start here from Indy. Or not 5, no, they would die. 3 wide start here from Indy. So only 1 pace lap, unlike normal NASCAR iRacing FedEx League races. Yeah, you're getting confused. 5 wide was last week for the pace lap at Fontana. This week, of course, it's 3 wide for the actual start in the Indy cars, as they will roll 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Ready to come to the green flag. The main event in Lobbies, week number 30. Of course, this race a season ago was a special event. Now it is, of course, a Lobbies event and cut down to 70 laps. It's going to be more of a sprint. You don't have to think about the long haul really tonight, but you do still have to think about some fuel saving and maybe some green flag pit stops if we don't get any caution flags, which none are guaranteed tonight. Lobbies returning, and returning with a bang, the Indianapolis 500. Of course, the real Indianapolis 500 is this Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But we got the iRacing version, the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies version as well for you tonight. From the most famous racetrack in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And week number 30's edition of NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies, the Indianapolis 500, is about to be underway. 3 wide they go. Green flag in the air, racing from Indianapolis. Grab on the inside, you get the number 6 up to the high side as well as they make their way through 1 and 2 side by side for the race lead. Yellow on the outside, grab on the inside, door to door down the back straightaway. Oh, we got a cars with damage already. Thirdman involved. They keep it going straight, so we'll stay green. 3 wide to the inside. Goes Ortega. To the lead is the 28. What a start by Alexander Ortega as they make their way through 3 and 4. Who's going to lead the first lap? Ortega breaks the draft. He looks like he's going to lead lap number 1 here at Indy. Grab falls back to 3rd as they head back down into 1 and 2. Ortega with the lead currently. Yellow there currently in 2nd place as they head their way down the back straightaway side by side to the inside. There's Cole Wilson on the bumper. Matt Grau, we got a car on the wall. Multiple cars spinning down here. Caution will fly for the first time as a couple of drivers are involved. Let's take a look at what happened to bring out this first yellow flag. I believe we have 2 involved. The 60 machine, he got damaged earlier on. I believe that, oh yeah, 1 car in the wall. And 60 gets a piece of it. I believe 12 then wrecks. The wall goes that 60 machine. 60 is Braden Hunsicker, so unfortunate, or sorry, that's Greg Holes. Braden Hunsicker, I believe, was 19. Braden Hunsicker, there he is, of course. Torn up race car. So an unfortunate start for a lot of drivers, a very, very messy start, but they do have a reset. First caution of the night is out. Payson Lindsay is damaged as well. What a chaotic start here in Indianapolis. Same thing we had last season in the special events, but of course this is just lobby, so special events, it was kind of unacceptable, but that was back when the league was, yeah, we don't talk about back then, a year ago. That was back then, and of course now league is a whole lot more cleaned up, but this is just lobbies, a whole lot of randoms here involved. Still with some of the, a lot of your league regulars, but randoms definitely don't make it any cleaner. Working caution flag number 1. All right, so we'll see if anyone elects to come to pit. Looks like everybody's going to stay out for the most part. Maybe 1 pitting in the back of the 16, it looks like. So Lindsay looking to just get his thing back around for a reset. You got CJ Urban currently on pit road. He's going to need a reset. I believe they're at 2 to go to green right now. Chris currently running under the caution flag here. From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies week number 30, the main event, the Indianapolis 500. I hope you're enjoying so far. Of course, a chaotic start there at all parts of the field. Alexander Ortega made a bold 3 wide move on lap number 1 to take the race lead. He currently holds it, working in the first caution flag of the day. So, of course, definitely an unusual week of NASCAR iRacing FedEx League action. There is no official series going on. They all have off as they prepare for Atlanta next week. And, of course, we were originally supposed to have the ARCA race broadcasted, but things changed, and then that was moved to yesterday. And then, of course, the only thing we're actually broadcasting tonight, the only race is, of course, the INDYCAR race for Lobbies. So kind of 1 to green this time by. So 3 wide start definitely did create a bit of chaos. They didn't really get separated from each other, so they kind of ran 2 and 3 wide further back in the pack through 1 and 2. So definitely created a bit of chaos back there. We saw a couple of cars go around and a couple of them have damage. So on pit road currently still is CJ Erdman in that number 4. So a bunch of drivers already taken out of this one, as you see Erdman sitting there in the pits. It's one to go to the restart. Back under green in just a few moments. Of course, we'll be having single file restart just like real IndyCar does. For the second half of, for this second start, of course, the first restart of the night. Back in about 20 seconds. All right. Back here live to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, ready to get the restart underway. So, of course, from 3 wide restarts, we go to single file restarts. It is Alexander Ortega in that number 30, leading them back to the green flag. Pace car back down to the pit road. And as they pull out a line, green flag back in the air as they break the draft on lap number 6. Ortega gets away nicely. Yellow and Cole Wilson go in the line. There's smack grab in the 53 as they head their way down the front straightaway, or the back straightaway. Pulling out a line is that number 28. Here comes Viola for the race lead on Alexander Ortega. Cole Wilson's going to go with him. We'll go 3 wide. Down to the inside goes Cole Wilson. He will take the lead aggressive early on here on lap 6. Cars kind of under a blanket as they head down the front straightaway here yet again. Ortega moving to the inside. Back to the race lead goes Alexander Ortega at the number 28. Back there you got Matt Grab currently running in 4th. Schrader, Mickelson, Har there currently running 5th, 6th, and 7th. Big draft break as they head down the back straightaway. Ortega tried to make a move there on Cole Wilson. Wilson able to hold them off as they head back to the 3 and 4 here on lap 7. At over 230 miles an hour here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh, we got a car, and it's Viola in the wall. Damage on the number 6. Not really sure what happened. He was running all by himself. I really don't understand how he got damaged. We got a battle for the lead to the outside. Goes Ortega on Cole Wilson. Side by side through 1 and 2 and 3 and down the back straightaway coming to 3 and 4. Who will lift? Around the outside goes Alexander Ortega. They're still side by side in 3. Once again, back to the outside lane is Alexander Ortega. He'll file back in line, back to the rear bumper on Cole Wilson. He'll have a run coming down the front straightaway. He'll pull out of line, and he's side by side with that number 17 through 1 and 2. Just a bit of a bobble there for the 17 of Wilson. Still side by side, heading down the front back stretch, I should say. Oh, we got a car hard in the wall. Matthew White, I don't really know what he's doing. Ripped all by himself, and he's blinking now, so. Ortega on the bumper, Wilson as they roll down the front straightaway, coming to lap number 10. Yellow coming on pit road with that damage. Through 1 and 2 they go. Mac Grab currently running there in 3rd. He's got the, I believe, 14 of Schrader all over his back bumper. wanting to get that final podium position. Oh, another, what? Okay, that is just pathetic. What is the number 5 doing? You don't do that. So Beck makes an idiotic move down the back straightaway as they come to lap 11. To the inside goes the 17 of Wilson. Cole Wilson making aggressive moves, of course, back to the race lead. Alexander Ortega going to try to get a run back down this back straightaway. You got still Schrader lined up there in third, so field has really been thinning out as of late. Only 13 cars on the lead lap currently. As they make their way through turns 3 and 4 and back down the front straightaway from Indianapolis, we'll see a run coming by Alexander Ortega, I'd have to imagine, on the bumper of Cole Wilson. Wilson, of course, very, very quick in race pace. Qualified 8th, so not really where he wanted to be in quali, but he's made his way up to the front of the field. Currently on lap 12. He did win, of course, the special event race here a season ago, the Indianapolis 500. So he does have experience getting the checkered flag in this INDYCAR in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League at Indy. Run coming, Alexander Ortega back to the inside. Huge run, and Wilson might lose 2 spots. He'll slide in front of Schrader there in that 14. Back down the back stretch they go yet again. Looking back here, Matt Grab has the 18 going to his inside. That is a battle for 4th as they make their way to the inside. How about hard nearly to the grass? Side by side with Schrader. You got that number 18 of Nicholson getting involved in the battle as well. Matt Grab just trying to step back, currently running in 6th for the driver of the 53. To the inside, big run hard, going for the lead. He will take it, new leader, that 29 of Hard. What a move, muscling his way down to the inside for the race lead. And now you got Cole Wilson all over the back bumper of Alexander Ortega. He'll pull to the outside. Side by side with that 28. Ortega under Hard as they make their way through 3 and 4. Almost 3. Oh, contact for the lead. Ortega sideways. Wilson's involved in the wrecking big time. And it is a big wreck through 3 and 4. Multiple cars involved. Caution will come out for the 2nd time tonight. It's your dominant car so far tonight. Cole Wilson involved. You got the 14. He's got damage. So many cars. Good ones taken out in this one, unfortunately. And that will bring us to the caution flag on lap 15. It's been an absolutely chaotic start to the races. Now Cole Wilson is destroyed and he's going to have to reset down pit road. And definitely unfortunate. A lot of your top runners taken out in this one. That's going to shake up the field a whole lot. All right, Cole, what happened there from your perspective to get you guys all torn up in this one?
Yeah, the leaders looked like they made contact, and I checked up, and I just kind of got run over. Car didn't move after that, so we had to take a tow. We're going to go 2 laps down, unfortunately, and I don't know if we'll be able to come back with no lucky dogs.
Yeah, we watched the replay. Oh, yeah, just contact ahead of Wilson. Then he got hooked by that number 18 Nixon and hard in the wall. Oh, my God. Look at the 14 getting nearly to the catch fence.
Are you allowed to take infinite waves from CJ Erdman? Take
no.
the wave infinite. That's what he asked.
I mean, technically, it's not a rule in lobbies, so I guess.
Yes, then? Yes. Okay.
Right along here with 14. There's nowhere for him to go. Just, oh yeah. Made the wrong move. Up into the wall he goes. On top of the wall as well. And I think he was able to drive it back, and he's currently on the racetrack right now. He's your leader somehow. Okay. That's what a reset does. All right. Caution out, second time here on lap 16 of 70 from Indianapolis. So it has definitely been a chaotic Lobbies event so far here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Ooh, it will not let me.
All right, so we'll see if anybody's coming to get service. Pit road, I believe, is open. Maybe some takers, maybe not. Kill situation definitely going to be interesting. Alexander Ortega will come to pit road here. I believe he had a slow stop initially, so one to go till the green flag. Of course, we'll have yet another single file restart. So it was early race chaos that brought up the first caution flag. A great battle for the lead with a lot of your fast cars, and they all get, a lot of them get swept up in a wreck, and that leaves that's 29 of hard with the lead currently. That is Cole Hard.
Okay, since iRacing is being weird, we're not taking our fast repair, and we're gonna. Oh, we still can't leave our box. We have all the damage picked, but it won't let us leave our box.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for Paul Wilson as he will
That
go.
might be over.
He'll go 4 laps down now as we are coming back to the green flag for the Indianapolis 500. Second restart of the night on lap 18. And Hard, your current leader, with Matt Grab, your pole sitter on his bumper, will lead them back to the green flag. Oh, 3 wide behind him. Oh, my God. 3 wide behind him. Sorry about that. At the number 16 down the inside. Yeah, the 6th of it. Oh, we got a car on the wall.
Oh,
big
crash.
time. I believe that is the 7 of Logan Giesbrett.
That's a hard one.
We'll stay green. As we'll just be able to probably reset. To the outside goes Nicholson on hold, so they head down the front straightaway here once again. It has been such a chaotic Indianapolis 500 so far.
Matt Grab here coming with a run. He'll stay in line as Andrew Stacy now looks to the outside of Matt Grab with Joseph Lewis on the back of both of them.
Joseph Lewis, how about the run he's having so far? Currently running in 4th. As they break the draft once again nearly to the grass. Down this back straightaway, side by side behind him. That is Schrader and Lindsay currently battling for 7th. Guard has kind of put it at about a 3/10 gap from him and Matt Grab as they make their way through turns 3 and 4 yet again. Here is that number 96 of Andrew Stacy to the outside of Matt Grab. Around the outside he goes for 2nd. What a power move by the Andrew Stacy machine.
Oh, the wall goes Lewis.
He will
avoid that inside wall, but he'll definitely have wheel damage.
I don't know how he didn't take a huge shot into the wall. That was nearly a terrible crash on the back straightaway. But yeah,
We'll
like
see
Cole
if he
mentioned,
can hold it together now. Because with that wheel damage, he doesn't look like he has front wind damage. So if he had front wind damage, you could see him pushing up the track. I think that car might be destroyed.
yeah, unfortunately, just a little hit like that in these Indy cars will get you all torn up. Stu the outside on pace, and Lindsay goes Schrader. Now battle for 7th, 6th. Schrader, a big move. Lindsay almost up into him, the car on the wall ahead of them. That I believe is Holes in that 12. We'll have multiple drivers go by him. How about a comeback for Viola in that number 6 so far?
Oh, we left the pits.
Only 6 laps down. Andrew Stacy all over the back bumper of Cole Hard once again down this front straightaway. He'll pull to the outside for the race lead. Andrew Stacy in the 96. He's going to clear Hard. New leader in Indianapolis. It's Andrew Stacy. Of course, Andrew Stacy has had such a terrible NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series season so far. 4 races in. Currently sits outside of the top 25 in points, and going to need an absolute miracle here to try to come back at a chance at a good points position. Stacy almost into the grass a little bit. He's got that number 29 still all over his back bumper. Hard's going to be looking for momentum. Sanders is going to block all the way down to pit wall. We saw Braden Hunsaker hit that in the special event last year. Matt Grab around the outside, a huge run, looking for possibly the lead side by side with Andrew Stacy. Grab around the outside, still door to door. Grab nearly clear. Andrew Stacy trying to side draft down this backstretch. Momentum coming on the outside. Matt Grab is your new leader, and Andrew's going to lose maybe 2 or 3 spots. Stacy back up the racetrack. Will have Schrader on his bumper for 4th. Just like that, that's how the momentum carries. To the inside goes Nicholson on Hard. And maybe for the lead, how about Nicholson on the bottom, takes the race lead. Hard still all over the back bumper of that number 53 of Matt Grab. You got a car pulling out of line behind him. Andrew Stacy nearly to the bumper of Hard in that 29. Almost made contact. Seen some entertaining racing so far. 25 laps in at Indianapolis. Moving to the inside is Andrew Stacy on that number 30 machine. Door to door, currently battling for 3rd. We got a car on the wall behind him. I believe that is Justin Lewis. Once again, we got cars wrecking to the back straightaway.
Oh, big Holes wrecked.
Holes was struggling on his tires, I believe. Goes around, will stay green. Stacy still battling with Schrader for 4th. Schrader gives up for now. He'll drop back in line.
Holes seems to have it back rolling here. We'll see if he can get back to the pits if he has damage.
Yeah, of course, he was up there battling with your leaders a couple of laps ago. Now, probably going to have to come down pit road. Gotta be wondering, all right, is anybody in fuel saving mode? Of course, you're not going to be able to make it to the end, guaranteed. So eventually they're going to have to start pulling off and peeling off the pit road, but you're going to want to pit probably as late as possible. It's down to the inside goes Schrader on Andrew Stacy. Battle currently for 4th. The car is rolling up here. CJ Ehrman has a car on his bumper. Top about 7-8 cars all separated by about maybe a second as they head down the backstretch yet again. Moving to the inside is that 14. He'll think better of it. Stay back in line with Andrew Stacy.
Update on Greg Holtz. He is still running on the track. He's currently in 12th position on the backstretch.
Of course, Greg Holtz, another one of those drivers that has had a terrible season in his series so far, is down to the inside on Andrew Stacy. Is that number 14 Schrader once again? Will drop back in line, and they are all packed up. Of course, Holtz, I don't think he has scored a point in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series so far this season, if not mistaken. Or I might be thinking about someone else. But I know he's definitely back there in the point standings. And it's back to the inside, goes that 14 of Schrader. Greg Holtz currently runs 25th in the standings.
He gets up the racetrack.
Once again, rolling down the front stretch from Indianapolis. Oh, a big move to the outside. That is Andrew Stacy. Once again, on, I believe that is hard in the 29. Once again, to the inside is Schrader on that number 96 of Stacy. Crossovers back there, Andrew Pace and Lindsay and others. Oh, Lindsay almost into the side of that number 16, whatever that name is.
Oh, trouble for Joseph Lewis. He's losing lots of time.
Yeah,
not sure what happened to him.
Joseph Lewis on the apron currently. He's got a wheel off, and he's got damage on his number 28. On lap number 30 here from Indianapolis. To the inside is Schrader on Andrew Stacy.
Joseph Lewis pulls it down to pit road with that number 9 car.
We'll see what kind of repairs he's able to do. He's probably going to go more than one lap down. I don't think he took his reset yet, though, which is a good thing for him. But there he is, getting it. There he goes. He gets his reset, but he's currently on the pits, going a lap down now.
Yeah, he will go a lap down. Me, CJ Erdman, and now Joseph Lewis are all going to need a caution flag so we can get our laps back. Not sure if we'll get one, but with this tight racing, we'll see if a wreck happens.
Andrew Stacy made a move down on the inside on Schrader and then really washed up the racetrack, nearly had a collision. Schrader all over the back bumper for third on hard. Hard blocks down the backstretch. He's got the 14 almost on his bumper. Matt Grab still currently riding into second place, or pole sitter. As they come to
Matt
lap
Grab
32.
is probably saving a little bit of gas. As, a tank of fuel is about 30 laps, and with the cautions and these long green flag runs, you can save 10 laps, so you only need to do 2 pit stops at lap 30, or possibly only 1 pit stop at lap 30. So Matt Grab gonna try and save enough fuel so he can make it to the end with just 1 stop.
Yeah, green flag pit stops in these Indy cars, if everybody comes on basically at the same time, going to be interesting to see how they get slowed down on a pit road here at Indy. So definitely not the hardest pit road to get to, obviously, but it's a little bit of a narrow pit road.
It's a narrow pit road, and it's very easy to lock up the front tires with these. And when you lock up the front tires, you can either spin, or you can also easily speed with them.
Riding along currently with him. So there's Matt Grab in the 53, riding down the backstretch. So definitely looks like everybody's kind of just riding in line right now to maybe try to save a bit of fuel. Get back down into the 3 and 4. Grab riding along with the number 53 machine, rolling down this front straightaway here in Indianapolis. So we'll see what the lifts are. So you are lifting slightly, actually more than slightly, down into 1 and 2. Matt Kravitz at least. Schrader
Might be able to hear him only half throttle on the straightaway. With that draft, it will just pull him along.
He is. Schrader's doing the same thing. So they're all kind of just in a line here, saving a bunch of fuel.
And that's the worst for Nick Nicholson right now, leading that train. He's just going to burn all the fuel, so he's going to have to come in probably up to 2 or 3 laps earlier than the rest of the pack, and that can be detrimental if your strategy doesn't work.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to pass him either. It's down to the inside goes Schrader on Matt Grabs. They come to halfway. Schrader maybe going to make the move for second place to the inside. Yeah, nobody want to try to pass Nick Nicholson as he will make the clearing on Matt Grab because you don't want to be that driver leading the pack and burning all that fuel up.
Yeah, earlier in the race when it was me and Alexander Ortega leading, I was leading the race and I did not want to lead, and I was completely off the gas and everyone just sat behind me. So sometimes if you're Nick Nicholson and you don't want to lead anymore, sometimes the other drivers just won't pass you unless you go super slow.
Oh, we got a car on the wall. Big wreck. Payson Lindsay, and upside down he goes down the front straightaway. Caution is going to come out. So this is going to mess up a whole lot of strategy. A huge wreck through turns 3 and 4. It is Payson Lindsay involved with that 16 machine. Absolutely massive carnage here. Both those cars are done. Absolutely destroyed. Let's take a look at what happened to rig at this yellow flag.
Pit stops will definitely happen under this.
Yes, that should pretty much kill the chance of green flag pit stops. Lindsay down to the inside of 960. Oh yeah. Bit of neck code, but mostly Lindsay just coming up into the door, and look at that number 99 fly through the air on the front straightaway. Luckily, more drivers avoided him. Let's take a look riding along here with Payson Lindsay. This is going to be an interesting one. Hang on. To the inside he goes. Yep. Slides up into the side of 16 and just nowhere for the 16 to go as he gets absolutely pounded into the wall, and a big flip for the 99 of Lindsay as he wrecks onto pit road. So we'll take a look where your leaders are. They should probably be pitting in just a few moments, I should say. All right, so leaders coming to pit road. We'll take a look at more replays once they finish up pit stops. So this should, I'm not really sure, but it might be the final stop of the day. It's a possibility.
I don't think so anymore. I think that strategy might be out the window with this caution.
It's going to be close, though. We've got 34 to go coming to now.
It could be. We'll have to see.
As they will come to their
Who
pit
has the
boxes.
biggest fuel tank?
Some drivers, I believe Nicholson might have taken tires. Viola comes off second place. Matt Grab going to lose a bunch of spots here on pit road. Third place is going to be hard. Matt Grab going to fall all the way back to, I think, 7th off of pit road as they roll off behind him. And, of course, there's the 99 all torn up once again. Let's take another angle at this accident, and just a unfortunate wreck, a big one. The biggest one we've had all day. A huge flip for the 99 of Payson Lindsay. Oh. So he got big run. I think, yeah, the 16 washed up the racetrack. Through 3 and 4 they go to the inside. Oh, yeah, just hits the apron slightly and just nowhere for that 16 to go. It all started with him washing up the racetrack. And just a massive tumble for Payson Lindsay. He goes down into the pit road. And not what he wanted to see here, obviously. Let's take a ride along with that number 16 machine. On his bumper to the inside, just comes up with the garden. Oh, man, just nowhere for him to go. You see Lindsay flipping ahead of him into the wall he goes. Payson was already involved in another accident earlier tonight. All right, so don't think Payson has a reset left, so that's going to be his night over, I believe. We'll come to 1 to go, and we will be restarting here on lap 39. Alright, so we'll take a look. Payson Lindsay is currently running 3 laps down. Here's C. German getting another lap back to go 8 down. Cole Wilson is currently 5 down, I should say. Not really sure where he is. He's rolling up the road, I think. So Cole Wilson at least gets a bunch more yellows, and with the no wave around limit rule here in lobbies, he is going to go 4 laps down now. You also don't have the rule where you don't doesn't matter if you pass the pace car with 1 to go. Not really a whole lot of rules going on in lobbies. We don't even have the choose cone either. Obviously tonight we don't because it's INDYCAR and they restart single file, but we don't have the choose cone in general for lobbies either. As they will come back to the green flag on lap 39 from Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Peyton Lindsay has been released from the medical center. He will not be going back in this race.
Yeah, massive tumble for the driver of the 99. You ready? We still have some debris on the racetrack from Lindsay. The AMR safety team forgot to pick that up. Back underway here on lap 39 in the Indianapolis 500. Big move to the inside. There is Andrew Stacy on, I believe, hard as they almost make contact. Oh, car in the wall. That is the 3. We'll keep it green. He's the only one around. That is Hogan. Down the back straightaway, Viola pulling out a line to the inside, outside of Nicholson. 3 wide, big move. Here comes Hard. He'll come out on top. What a move by that driver of the 29.
There's a 2-car wreck, the 12 and the 3.
Holes and Hogan, we'll take a look. I think they're back going. We're going to stay green.
The 12 is back. Oh no, both of them have turned.
What a move to the inside. How about Viola taking the lead away on lap 40? Up the racetrack, Nick Nicholson once again. I'm not going to say his actual name because YouTube won't like that. As they head down the back straightaway. All over the back bumper of Viola is that number 18. Through turns 3 and 4 they go. And back down the front stretch at the most famous racetrack on earth. Only 30 laps to go. And back to the inside goes Nickerson. Nick Nickerson. That name. Back to the inside, and there's Viola.
The 18 car.
Yeah, him. Coming back around the outside for the race lead. He will clear once again. Coming down to just 29 laps to go in the Indianapolis 500. Nicholson once again on his bumper. He's not going to pull out a line. This could be now fuel saving mode. Did we see the last pass to the lead before they start fuel saving?
Yeah, fuel saving definitely going to become the show right now. Whoever's going to be the lead-in is going to obviously burn the most fuel, and then I think 3rd or 4th is probably where you're going to save the most fuel. So look for Cole Hard, and I can't tell who's in 4th place to be the one saving the most fuel. Andrew Stacy in 4th.
To the outside goes that 18. Once again, Nicholson moving to the inside, and he's actually going to try to take the lead away. Kind of surprised by this. Goes down to the inside of Viola, and big move. But here comes Andrew Stacy. They are actually starting to race even harder. Stacy almost into the door of Hard. Hard trying to hold him up, and Andrew Stacy going to fall back in the line. As there is Schrader on the bumper of Andrew Stacy once again.
That 18 car might have realized that he does not have enough fuel, so he's just going to push now and maybe hope for a late race caution.
Oh, Andrew Stacy all over the wall. Yeah, cautions have been kind of, they haven't been as bad as they were in the special event last year, but here comes a huge run for Andrew Stacy, getting in maybe 2 spots to the inside of Viola. They go, they're side by side, 2 lanes deep. I don't see any fuel saving going on here for the most part. Once again, roll down the backstretch. Big move. Schrader back to the inside. You got Joseph Lewis currently running in 6th with a bit of a rebound.
Matt Grab and Alexander Ortega run in 8th, 7th, and 8th. Those two sitting in the back were up front earlier on in the race. They might just be cruising around trying to save some gas, and then look for those two at the end of the race when everyone else has to pit for fuel.
How about Andrew Stacy, not saving whatsoever, gets second. He's gonna be side by side for the lead. He'll fall back in line, but he'll try to get momentum once again off turn number 2. Schrader, oh, big block, nearly to the grass. Schrader and that number 29 hard down to the inside now in Viola. Racing product getting more and more aggressive as now here comes Andrew Stacy to the inside of the 18. Stacy trying to take the lead away through 1. He will clear. New leader from Indy is Andrew Stacy, but how much fuel does he have left in the tank as now Nicholson once again back to the outside. 3 wide, Schrader possibly going for it. Schrader's gonna take the lead. Oh, got a car on the wall back there. I believe that's Viola. He now has damage. I believe he may be missing a front wing. No, he's actually still got it, but possibly some wheel.
Third place. Yeah, he could have wheel damage. I don't know how hard he hit it, but wheel damage after running up front in the 3rd position, that is heartbreaking for him.
3 wide for the lead. Andrew Stacy muscling his way down into the inside on Schrader.
Viola's in 5th.
Unfortunate for the driver of the 6, he will come to get service. He's going to have to hope it's just a quick stop. I don't even know if he has a reset left, though. But he'll definitely be hoping for a
Yeah, he is retired from the race.
Unfortunate for the driver of the 6. In a chaotic Lobbies, Indianapolis 500 so far tonight, and we got a battle for the lead once again. Andrew Stacy on Nicholson. He will clear him.
How about Alexander Ortega? He's back up to 5th place after leading early on.
Well,
has he saved enough gas?
Yeah, maybe got the green light to keep going. 3 wide, almost, is Schrader. The 18 back to the inside on Andrew Stacy. He'll clear for the lead once again. Now Schrader making his way on the inside of Stacy. Oh, car in the wall. It's Andrew Stacy. He's getting wrecked. Into the wall he goes with Ortega. He's riding on top of that number 28. And that's unfortunate for both those drivers, Andrew Stacy. Oh! Oh my God, CJ Erdman, a horrific wreck.
Crash. 3 cars destroyed.
Wow. We saw it. That number 96 got turned around, and let's take a look at what happened to bring out this caution flag.
CJ Erdman.
Stacy on the outside. Oh yeah, hits the wall. Runs up too high, and then that just sets him sideways, and Ortega nowhere to go. As, oh my God, look at that 96, and then coming through, flying through. What? Okay, I don't know. He looks like he purposely tried to go hit him, so that was interesting. Let's ride along here with CJ Erdman to see what actually went on there.
CJ Erdman and Andrew Stacy are teammates, so I don't know if some weird team communications told CJ to hit him.
I mean, it wouldn't be the most unusual thing for Clear High Racing, as we will, of course, Erdman all torn up. So we will come to the pit road this time by. It's 22 to go currently.
Such a shame for both Andrew Stacy and Ortega. We'll have to see if either of them have resets, or if their day might be done.
I think they both do. At least Ortega, I think, does.
Ortega does, I'm pretty sure.
So, but he did. I think he had to reset the pit road, which is going to kind of hurt him.
Yeah, he will go at least 1 lap down, so I'll be hoping for a caution.
All right.
And now I'm only 2 laps down, so we'll have to see if I can get back in this race, possibly.
So Cole Wilson maybe going to be battling for the win at the end if cautions fall his way, or maybe even get the laps back.
I'm going to have to make a pit stop here, though, so I think I'm going to be 1 lap down.
All right, so your current leader is that number 14 of Schrader.
Ortega has said on the radio he does have his fast repair left, so he might not be out of it yet. He will be. He is currently 2 laps down as well as Andrew Stacy. So he'll have to hope for a caution, but he's not quite out of it yet.
So top 5 currently: Blake Schrader, Nick Nicholson, Joseph Lewis. God knows what that name is, and Hard in 5th. This, of course, Andrew Stacy. We'll see where he is. He's pulling off pit road, currently 1 down. We're coming to 20 to go this time by. That should be the 1 to go signal till the restart, which means we'll restart with 19 laps remaining here in the Indianapolis 500.
Andrew Stacy is now back on the racetrack. 1 lap down as well as me.
Stacy Ortega is gonna, I think, get himself back on the lead lap. Andrew Stacy trying to do the same thing. So Andrew Stacy and Alexander Ortega both get their resets, but they should be back on the lead lap.
Ortega is on the lead lap. Stacy is 1 lap down currently.
Stacy now gets his lap back. So that will be those 2 back in the race. 20 laps to go in the Indianapolis 500. We will be back underway with 19 remaining here from Indy.
Oh crap, we are serving a penalty.
Oh.
I forgot to clear it. Okay, so we're gonna need another caution.
Fortunate for
We're
Cole Wilson.
Gonna be 1 lap down.
I mean, we'll see if they can hold it together for another 19 laps, but the way this race has been going so far, and of course being a Lobbies race, you never know.
Oh, we might be going 2 laps down. But we do have enough fuel to the end, so if a caution comes out, we'll be good.
Yeah, no more fuel saving here. It's gas all the way down to the checkered flag. It's go time now. Going to be 19 laps remaining in the Indianapolis 500. Here we go. Stacy and Ortega both going to catch up to the end of the field. Pace car comes back down pit road. Buckle up, 19 to go. No more fuel saving. It's go time from Indy. Even start, front of the field, single file. There's the kind of drivers moving through the
How do you
field.
get
That's Andrew Stacy. Andrew Stacy, now he's got Matt Grab on his bumper, looking to the inside. Now for the lead, here comes that number 18. To the outside goes Nicholson. Side by side for the race lead. On Schrader. He will take it. Now how about Joseph Lewis, currently running in 3rd. Matt Grab around the outside of the 16. Ortega nearly sliding up into the door of that number 96 of Andrew Stacy as they work their way down the back straightaway, front straightaway yet again. For the lead, here comes Blake Schrader.
How aggressive are they going to be? Just 18 more laps to go.
We know there's no more fuel saving. Like we mentioned, they block all the way down to the grass to try to break the draft. Here comes the 18 back around the outside. Gotta be wondering how well are these drivers going to be able to time it once this run continues to go down. No, Joseph Lewis in the wall a bit. Once this run continues to go down, you're going to have to try to time it perfectly where you're not going to allow anyone to get the run after the white flag. Oh, what a big block by Schrader down to the inside on Joseph Lewis. Still side by side with the 18 and Nicholson. Yeah, like I was saying, you're going to have to try to time it perfectly so nobody can get a run to try to pass you on the final lap. So you can take the check.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a double file finish side by side coming to the line. Maybe even 3 wide if we have enough cars there at the end.
It all is going to come down probably to the end of this race. 17 laps to go from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh, sliding up the racetrack once again is Schrader. He's kind of been all over it. Almost 3 wide. Here comes Joseph Lewis and the 18 back around the outside. Joseph Lewis trying to make it 3.
Yeah, the runs here are big. and the cars will come up fast, and the holes will close very fast. So you got to put your car in a safe position right now. Or how risky do you want to get, making it 3 wide for the lead, for example, like Joseph Lewis might try?
Lewis has been waiting in the wings. Here comes Mac Grab back around the outside, trying to regain track position. They're side by side for the lead, maybe sliding up the racetrack once again is that 18. Mac grabbing around the outside, and they're now going to be cleared for 4th on hard.
Ortega now back up to 6th, Stacy up to 7th. We'll see how those two can get back through the field and possibly still have a chance at winning this race.
Schrader, a big run, back for the lead. Oh, look at a big aggressive move by Coulthard. He'll be to the inside of Joseph Lewis, almost contact being made. 15 laps to go from Indianapolis. They're side by side for the race lead. Door to door through turns 3. And once again off the exit of turn number 4, heading down the front stretch. Everybody jostling for position. Pack around the outside of Schrader. Maybe watch this move on hard. He'll think better of it. They all file back in the line through 1 and 2. Side by side for the lead of the race. Nicholson on the inside of Schrader, side drafting down the backstretch. Oh, watch the momentum. Schrader once again to the top. Got Joseph Lewis trying to fit his nose in there as well. Big runs coming all around Joseph Lewis, the bumper of that 18. Oh, almost contact. Everybody jostling for his position. They're 3 wide for the lead. Around the outside is hard.
Don't look now. Up in the 5th position is Alexander Ortega. He's on a charge.
Ortega, after getting that reset, he's got Andrew Stacy, who was involved in the crash with him. Oliver's back bumper. Once again, these two have been battling at it. Hard thinks better of it. He goes back in line. And the 18 of Nicholson is clear once again for the race lead.
Like you meant over the radio, it's Andrew Stacy and Ortega. They're still not happy with each other.
I mean, yeah, you can't have beef here in Indianapolis late in the race. Andrew Stacy nearly makes it 3 wide. Oh, Joseph Lewis slides up the racetrack. They're also having a battle for the lead while this all goes on. Oh, nearly contact is made. They all somehow hang on to it yet again. My goodness.
Overtimes
yeah,
on this?
3.
Okay.
Actually, 15 technically.
Unrealistic.
Doesn't matter. For the fans.
Schrader still leads the way ahead of Hard and Nickerson.
As through the outside goes Ortega. For a second on Hard, he will clear him. And how about Ortega?
Back to the field for Ortega to the lead.
On Schrader he goes. New leader.
That 28 car is flying.
But Schrader's looking back to the inside lane. He's there once again. Schrader not giving up. Back to the inside and Alexander Ortega. They're side by side and now Ortega backside of the line. Let's Blake Schrader go. Coming back to just 10 laps to go in the Indianapolis 500. Schrader back to the inside. Oh. Ortega, Schrader backing up even more. Ortega clear for the race lead. Currently now in second is Hard. He's got to run down this back straightaway. Where is he going to pull out a line?
Trouble for Joseph Lewis. He has gotten into the wall.
He currently is still running. They are all over each other through turns 3 and 4. Matt Grabb kind of sitting back here, not wanting a piece of this mess until probably the end. Everybody jostling down the front straightaway. Back to the outside goes Coulthard on Alexander Ortega. They're side by side.
Yeah, the thing with Matt Grabb, though, is you said wait until the end. It is the end now with less than 10 laps to go. When is Matt Grabb going to start to go?
Ortega side by side with Coulthard. Then you got that 18 of Nicholson involved. Still side by side through 3 and 4. Ortega gonna clear hard.
Coulthard came over the radio and asked not to be bump drafted. I wouldn't recommend bump drafting here in an IndyCar, as that can cause a huge accident.
Nearly 240 miles an hour. Back into turn number 1 they go. Andrew Stacy working the inside lane, battling for third. Here comes Coulthard. Ortega blocking all the way down to the grass, but Coulthard has a run on the outside. He's going to try to go side by side with him. Now he'll pull outside. Ortega blocks. Nicholson there yet again. You got Schrader in the 14. 7 laps to go from Indianapolis. Look at Schrader once again trying to make up position. Smack grab, trying to do something. He's currently running in 6th. Got to make up position if he wants to try to win this race. Of course, after starting on pole position. 2 the outside goes hard on Ortega. Can he try to take the lead this time by? He's got help behind him. Side by side through 3 and 4. The aggression level continues to pick up as we go later and later into this race. Look at all the way down to the inside is Coulthard. Noah Nicholson back to the outside lane. Oh, nearly contact is made. They spark behind him. Side by side for the race lead. Here comes Hard. On the bumper, through the grass he goes! Past the grass! Possibly for the lead. Coulthard's gonna take it! What a move! My goodness, to take the race lead through the grass, coming to 5 to go. But he's got Ortega back to his outside. Not giving up is Alexander in the 28. He's almost clear him and he's still there. Oh, car in the wall. What's crack? Car in the wall. Haven't had one of those in a while. As they, oh, it's Matt Grab with damage in the back straightaway, it looks like. I think he's missing a wing. That's going to be his race over. Back to the outside goes Hard. Oh, they make contact. They're going to be wrecking. Big wreck for the leaders through 3 and 4. That's going to bring out the caution flag. And it's a lot of your leaders involved. Ortega's got damage. He's going to be done. Hard's involved. Matt Grab has damage as well.
Oh, Wilson back in it. I did give myself wheel damage because I was looking at my phone.
Oh.
But we'll see. We might have a chance.
And that was bound to happen. It all was unwinding towards the end. Let's take a look at just what happened. Multiple
Such
cars
a shame,
involved.
though, for so many of your leaders who had a shot at the win today, and now their race ends with them in the wall.
So car went to the wall, and that's how Matt Grab got his damage back there. And then they rolled down the back straightaway. 5 to go. We got Hard on the ball of the back bumper of Ortega. He pulls to the outside. They're side by side down the back stretch. Oh yeah, I think Hard just judges it, takes him out, and then another car, they make hard contact in the wall. Then they got the 18 of Schrader, or I'm sorry, of Nicholson, all destroyed, and then he gets hit once again. To ride along with this 18 machine to see what he saw from his point of view. There they go behind him. Just almost made it through. Was maybe an inch away from actually surviving all that. Let's actually take a look from the back angle of the 18. See how just close it was. Oh my God, barely just got him there. So unfortunate for the driver of the 18 machine. Of course, they wreck ahead of them. Ortega side by side. Just, yeah, I don't really know what he was doing. He just came down way too much. Oh. Big hits all around.
But Wilson has gotten all his damage fixed. We'll see if he can, after being 7 laps down, have a chance of being there at the end.
Yeah, of course, Cole Wilson, after being fastest in practice, qualified 8th and was involved in multiple wrecks, and now he's going to be back in the race, back on the lead lap with all damage repaired, like he said.
I do have permanent damage, but it hopefully should last out for the last 3 or so laps. If we do get an overtime, we'll see if we can get back through the field and have a chance.
What a top 5 this is right now. You got, of course, Schrader with the lead. Then you got the driver here currently running in second. That's Adam, God help me, Kolopabek. We're just gonna say that. We're just gonna call him Adam Kowicki, because it's easy. Then we got third place, Joseph Lewis. Matt Grab currently running in 4th. And then Cole Wilson back on the lead lap. I believe Matt Grab, I think he got a reset or something. There is
He might have just came down pit road.
It's going to be 2 laps to go, so green, white, checkered finish. So Cole Wilson coming back onto pit road. We will come to 1 to green this time by 2 laps to finish it. What an insane Lobbies Indianapolis 500 has been. All right. Two laps to decide the winner from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Here we go. As internet apparently is picking the perfect time to try to go out. So really happy about that one. All right, so sorry about the bad quality.
Okay, Andrew Stacy has said that he plans on sending anything wide, and I agree.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Pace cars off.
It is 2 laps to go in the Indianapolis 500. Green flag back in the air. 2 to go. Everybody breaking the draft. Everybody trying to find a place in line. Matt Crab to the outside. There's Cole Wilson behind him. To the inside is Joseph Lewis. Through 1 and 2 they go, with 2 laps remaining. Oh, that's chaos behind it. Oh, contact! Matt Crab spins. Cole Wilson's involved. Big wreck on the back straightaway. 2 cars involved. I think Cole Wilson has damage. Think we're going to keep it green, though. No, caution's out. All right. Well, just like that, caution is back out. And Joseph Lewis is all destroyed. Let's take a look at what happens. Bring out the yellow flag for the second time. Second time here for the overtime. Yeah, just gets into him. A little bit of neck code there. I believe Cole Wilson got a piece of it, and then they all pair up into the fence. We'll have a second green, white checkered attempt coming off from Indianapolis. Yeah, just got to his door. Yeah, turns it. It's hard on the wall. Goes Joseph Lewis. Chaos starting to ramp up even more in the Lobbies Indianapolis 500. Yeah, coming up for a second overtime. Coming up. We see Joseph Lewis all torn up. So we're going to, I believe, let's see, Matt Grab is still somehow on the track. Cole Wilson, you can see there. Cole, how's your damage right now?
Yeah, I do think we have a bit of wind damage. Andrew, Stacy, me, and Matt Grab will all be coming up pit road here due to damage. So, not going to show it in the yellow here, and we're going to see if we still have a chance. And we're not the only ones coming to pit road.
The only one going to stay out is that 16, and
Oh,
no,
mate.
the last second. But getting down the lead is that number 16 of oh my God. Kolowski. Kolakowski.
Schrader might have been short on fuel, so he wants to top off in case of other overtimes.
Of course, you have 15 attempts tonight, so I don't.
Ooh, we cannot fix the damage.
Matt Grab. Oh, he's got big damage. I don't know if Matt Grab has a reset or not. You're gonna pray for him he does. I don't think he does. Yep. Oh, no, he does. Okay.
We are in third position now somehow.
I mean, this race, just like of course, last year's special events race has been absolutely insane. And your leader currently, how about it? Kolakowski. All right. Here we go. From Indy, gonna come to 1 to go to the green flag this time. All right, so 3 laps to go in the row. We're going to be, of course, restarting with 2 laps to go. Green, white, checkered finish. What's going to happen on this overtime attempt here? Will be the final overtime attempt. We will have to wait and see. Matt Grab will stay in the lead lap, obviously, with the wave around, even if it doesn't get around the pace car. There we go. Okay. So we will have 6 drivers battling for the Indianapolis 500 victory. Kolakowski, Hard, Schrader, Wilson, Stacy, Grab. All right, here we go. Time to possibly finish this one off. So Stacy, Matt Grab, still catching up in the background. They should be able to get there. Both don't have any damage on their cars, I don't think. Well, here we go.
All right, here we go. 6 cars, 2 laps. Let's see if we can get it done.
2 to go from Indianapolis. Second overtime attempt of the night. Pace car back down to the pit road. 6 drivers ready to battle it out. Green flag is waving. Back underway in Indy. Stacy, aggressive move back to the inside. And here, ready for the lead. They all go maybe 3 wide. Through 1 and 2, they go 3 by 3 for third. Hard got a great restart as they're filing back in the line, door to door. That's 16 on Cole Wilson. Rolling their way down the back straightaway. How about Schrader pulling out of the line? 2 to the outside of the 17. Now you got Kolowski, whatever his name is. Hard side by side with that number 16 as they head their way through 3 and 4 yet again. And coming to the white flag this time by is the final lap of the Indianapolis 500. Look at that block down to the inside. Cole Wilson is there. They're 3 wide at the line. through 1 and 2 for the final time in Indy.
Oh, they're wrecking for third.
Big
Two
wreck
cars.
behind him.
Oh, that's a huge crash. It's
Oh!
a 3-car race.
Matt Grab on his roof as they head down the back straightaway with final time. Cole Hart trying to hold on. You got the 16 there. Here comes Cole Wilson. They're 3 wide. Hard blocking all the way down low. Final time to 3 and 4. That number 16 to the outside lane. He's up the racetrack though. Cole Hart trying to hold on. One final charge for Wilson. Here they come to the checkered flag, waving. Wilson's gonna run. He's not gonna do it. Cole Hart's gonna win the Indy 500. What a finish. Cole Hart goes to the victory lane. Cole Wilson ends up second. And he will, of course, Cole Wilson wrecks ahead of him. Cole Hart, your race winner from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He wins the Indy 500 for Lobbies week number 30. What a finish. Had to hold our breath to the end of that one. My goodness. Cole Hart. In his first ever, oh, he's gonna hit the wall. First ever NASCAR iRacing FedEx League race will get the job done tonight, and he's gonna destroy his suspension, but he of course wins the Indianapolis 500. What a race to the end, what a finish. We'll take a look at some of your top finishers. We'll have some post-race interviews, and we're of course gonna have the replay to see what happened there at the end.
Yeah, huge wreck there with Matt Grab, Andrew Stacy, and Schrader in the 14 car. Matt Grab went on his roof.
We gotta hope everybody's okay after that one. It's burning it down is Cole Hart in that number 30. Gets the job done. What a race to the checkered flag. I think if Cole Wilson was just a little bit closer there, he could have got the momentum. Yeah, just not enough time.
We're not just New Garden. No back-to-back.
And it's not Talladega, so the start-finish line isn't by turn 1.
Oof, if it was, we might have gotten there.
All right, as we look at the golf course here at Indianapolis, one of the most famous racetracks on Earth, probably the most famous racetrack on Earth, so much at this facility. That wraps up the Lobbies Indianapolis 500. We'll have post-race interviews coming up real quick. Let's firstly actually take a look at that final lap crash. Big, huge wreck with Matt Grab and others. So 3 wide, coming to the white.
Just want to shout out Kevin Chandler. He's so bad he couldn't even race tonight, yet he insults drivers that actually finished the race today.
Oh, what a hard hit. Yeah, Cameron Chandler being fat in Charlotte.
Yes.
Somebody wanted to take a vacation. Watch this. Whoa. And gets, oh yeah, just ran out of wheel, I guess. Upside down he goes. And there goes our camera. Alright, from the blimp. Last lap racing, Schrader into the door of Stacy. Stacy, of course, goes around once again. Oh, my goodness. All right. That will do it for Lobbies week number 30. So, first we had multiple events on multiple different days, which is not something that happens very often. We'll see if we get any post-race interviews here tonight, because it's Lobbies. That usually doesn't really, that doesn't happen a whole lot. Welcome to the post-race here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Definitely still a pretty fun show all around from Indy, so we'll give it about a minute to see if we get any interviews here. What a day from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was all such a fight down at the end. Of course, Cole Hart gets the victory after an insane race, 2 overtime attempts. And definitely one to remember from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I mean, if this was last year, we would still have 130 to go, so, my God. feel like we just did a whole 200 laps tonight. All right.
Not sure if there is anyone
Is
that wants an interview. Oh, there is. Alexander
yeah.
Ortega is in the waiting room.
So we will have at least one post-race interview. All right. Coming up here with Alexander Ortega. Alexander Ortega, really great race for you guys, just an unfortunate ending. So you got, of course, your damage repaired. Then you were up there battling for the race lead late in the race, and unfortunately you get caught up in a crash there, I believe Andrew Stacy. Just walk me through what happened here late in the race to take you guys out.
Yeah, I felt like I was putting myself in a pretty good spot. We still had quite a bit of time left. I felt like there at the end. I think it was around 13 ago. I came over the radio and was telling guys, "Hey, we have lots of time. You know, there's only 7 of us here in this pack. It's not like it's hard to pass." And so, trying to get things kind of calm the water a little bit because everyone's racing really, really hard. And so, I think a few laps after that, I started kind of just decided to kind of go and get in front of all of it because I knew if there was a wreck, I'd rather be at the front of the field rather than the back. And so, just got to the front of the field pretty quick, made some good moves on the outside, and then it was just kind of myself and the 29 car battling side by side back and forth, just kind of trading runs. And down the backstretch, she went to my outside, and I came up, you know, just racing hard, making sure I use all the space and not have a super shallow entry and risk sliding back up into him. And he left just a bunch of space on his outside, so we made contact, and it just kind of stuck us together. And that was it. Since I didn't have my fast repair anymore, but it is what it is. Had a good time, and I think put on a pretty good show.
All right, so of course next week, of course, the Xfinity Series race from Atlanta Motor Speedway. So it's a super speedway style race there. You guys have ran really well at of course, the 2-mile oval at Fontana and then the short track at USA. What do you guys expect at now kind of a super speedway style race next week from Atlanta in the Xfinity Series?
I don't really know what to expect per se. It's a super speedway race on iRacing. You can expect to get wrecked out for sure is, the safest bet. But I know Atlanta is the one super speedway I've actually won out on iRacing and officials. So just keep doing what we've been doing and try and survive at the very least.
All right, well, still nice job on the run tonight. Sorry it ended early for you guys in a wreck, but we will see you next Wednesday for the Xfinity race from Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up next here, probably final interview of the night, going to be Andrew Stacy. Andrew Stacy, hard racing there in the final lap. Ultimately, you guys will come up in the wall. So just take me through what happened there in the last lap.
I was just cruising. I felt fast with a minute of damage. I felt fast, and then the guy on my inside just got tight, dirty air. And what I personally do to help dirty air is I just let off and not try to be crazy with the steering as opposed. But this guy that guy probably didn't race Indy. I know most people don't race Indy cars, but yeah, it was still a lot of fun. I loved it, and thank you for CJ Urban for the little love tap there on the first incident.
All right, so of course, next week for the Cup Series is Atlanta. You guys currently sit, I believe, outside the top 25 in points. So, but you did finish second there in the Xfinity Series. What do you guys think you could do to try to turn your Cup season around?
I'm not here to make friends. So I will definitely be way more aggressive than I used to. I feel like I'm after those first few races, just not getting treated rightfully like by other competitors. I feel like that was just like the final straw. So yeah, we're just gonna ball out, thug it out.
All right, we will see you in the Xfinity Series, or the Cup Series race, I should say, from Atlanta Motor Speedway next Thursday. Coming up next is going to be Cole Wilson. He came home in second. So Cole Wilson is P2. What a finish, though, at the end for you guys. Is there anything you could have done? Also, of course, just such a chaotic race throughout it. Is there anything you could have done there at the end to try to catch hard?
I don't think so. Ultimately, just a shame. We got involved in that early on wreck while running in third place. put us really behind 7 laps down, and then took us the entire race to recover. And then with that overtime restart, we had a chance. Went from seventh to second, but ultimately just one short, which is worst place to finish in the Indy 500. But no back-to-back, not just of New Garden, but next year hopefully.
All right, so of course, you were like you mentioned before, you were at 1.7 laps down. Did you really expect you were going to be able to make this comeback all the way up to second place on the lead lap?
No, if I'm being honest, drivers were relatively calm for what I expected. I thought we were gonna have a lot more wrecks. Towards the end, we got a little worse again, but pretty calm. But we did just get the perfect amount of cautions for me to be able to get the damage fixed, and then just there at the end when it mattered, but just short.
All right, so still nice job on the run here tonight. P2 in the Indianapolis 500. As we, of course, won't be able to go back-to-back, but we will see you in the Xfinity Series race from Atlanta next week.
Yep, need some good points there, and live week because of diecast official diecast.
No. All right, coming up next, final interview of the night going to be Joseph Lewis. Came home out of the race. Joseph Lewis, you guys ran inside of the top 5 late in the going here today, but unfortunately it's going to be a DNF. So ultimately, take me through what happened to take you guys out of this one.
I had damage on the right front. Very fast. This is my first time ever doing IndyCar, so it was a whole different thing. Spent yesterday all day, all night trying to get used to the car, try to figure out what it's all about. But yeah, it just sucks have already fighting right front wheel damage, and I knew if I went to pit, I'd probably be sitting there waiting since I used to fast repair too early. But yeah, I got right beside the 53. Me and him got a little bit of contact, but that didn't cause the wreck at all. We come out of the turn, and I guess it was net code or whatnot. As I kept on looking at, the cars never touched themselves, but the 53 definitely went around, and whenever he got his stuff straightened up, I couldn't get my stuff. I locked on the brakes, I fought it, but I just went right straight in the wall, and the whole front end just blew up on me.
All right, so of course, still a good run for you guys tonight with the speed-wise. Of course, coming up into the Xfinity Series at Atlanta, it's a super speedway style track, of course. You guys currently are 12th in the Xfinity Series, points -6 to the cut line, so close there on the playoffs. Do you guys think you're going to be able to do enough at Atlanta to try to get yourself above that playoff cut line?
Oh yeah, definitely. This is not only just a extracurricular race, but I mean, it was also good just for seat time, just to get into the mindset of a super speedway style race to hopefully get us not only just a good run, but all I'm just looking forward to at least snatching a win. I mean, that's the main goal of it all. But just to finish good, make the playoffs at the end, and make a possible championship contend is definitely on the works.
All right, well, still nice job on the run tonight. Sorry, it kind of ended early for you guys after a great run in the top 5 for most of the night, but we'll see you in the Xfinity race next Wednesday from Atlanta.
All right, see you then.
All right, that will do it here tonight. We hope you enjoyed the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies Indianapolis 500. What a race it was tonight all around. Definitely one that did not disappoint. So, of course, Cup and Xfinity heads to Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Wednesday for the Xfinity Series, Thursday night for the Cup Series. You do not want to miss that action coming up next week on live on the channel. So, of course, on behalf of all officials, team owners, drivers, commentators, everybody involved with making what this league is, making this league what it is, if I can actually talk tonight, we'll see you from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Good night from Indianapolis.